Well, it is 2 o'clock.
Yes.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's stream. Today we're talking about the Paris films and also the Amsterdam films, looking at which films are currently in the lead as we move into the final week for the Paris Liftoff Film Festival, and then finding out which films are moving into the network round for Amsterdam.
Very exciting. Yeah, as soon as this stream is finished at 2:30 to be exact, the network round will be live on our network hub, which is exclusively for any filmmakers who have been screening and joined us on there. Of course, our Liftoff members and Liftoff jury. So it will all be clear when it's laid out on there, but you'll be able to watch the 5 feature films that we're going to announce in due course and the 11 shorts.
We are. I can see that there's...
I was just going to say...
Oh, you're going to move into the chat room as well?
No, I was actually just going to say, but we'll be starting with Paris. So also talk about the chat room, Nat.
Yes, so I can see there's quite a few of you in the chat room. So if you do have any questions or any thoughts, or maybe you want to shout out a film or two this week that you've seen that you think is just amazing, let us know and we'll do our best to share that during the stream. All right. Paris, let's start there.
Yeah, so let's take a look then at our 3 programmes, starting with our trendsetter shorts. I'll kick us off then. So we have had 57 people have been watching these so far, with, as Nat mentioned, until Monday at 10 p.m. GMT is when these Vimeo on-demand pages and their voting forms close. So far, you've hit 414 playthroughs of shorts on this page and 36 votes. So there are still several due in. Like we said, you've got until Monday. And people really cool have been watching this from 24 different countries. But let's take a look at the films currently in the lead in the audience choice voting. It is Swim, directed by Lee Williamson, who we're really excited to actually be meeting soon at our Sessions Winners screening, which is taking place here at Pinewood in a few weeks. But yeah, this is also screening in this festival, and it's a really cool short documentary about Colm Daly, a 70-year-old open water swimming veteran who tells of his 50 years experience and passion for Irish water. Lee's often joined us on our focus group calls during the different festivals that he's screened in, and every time people talked about the cinematography, the production value. Yeah, really cool, so go and check this out. That's on 7 votes. And then just behind it on 5 votes is My Brother. This is an Indian student short film about Ram, an undocumented Indian Muslim immigrant who's working in the cemetery alongside a young, illegal Indonesian immigrant trying to make ends meet in Singapore. Suddenly, the police arrive. ...
So then moving on to our next programme, we've got the new voices. So we've got 71 viewers, 730 playthroughs, 61 votes, so still lots of votes to come in, and we've got viewers from 22 countries around the world. So the first film we're going to mention is House Slaughter, which is currently on 11 votes. So House Slaughter is directed by Thomas Peck, and it is a horror. 2 newly acquainted college friends looking for a place to live find the ultimate deal: a cheap living arrangement in a large industrial house. Very, very close behind is Albatross on 10 votes. So there's a lot of movement that can happen here, what we were mentioning.
Yeah.
And Albatross is a Mexican film directed by Raul Rodriguez, which follows the story of shortly after his father's death, Ismael attends a group therapy session. There he'll meet a person that could change the way he sees his grief and even his life. Wow.
There we go. So those were the 2 short programmes. We, of course, also have our features, which 43 people have been watching this month. 461 playthroughs, wow, which is great. That's more than 10 feature films that each of you have watched. Very cool. 23 votes and people tuning in from 14 countries. This film has been leading the way for pretty much the entire duration of the festival. It's The Evening Word, directed by Fyodor Gimino, who again we met in our focus group. Really nice to learn more about this project. Which is about Pierre, who is getting ready to leave his student apartment and go back home to family for the summer. On the morning of the departure, he packs up his bags, does the dishes, and tidies up the place, but his mind is already elsewhere. And then on 4 votes is The Making of a Man by Lo Dagerman from the USA. Lo wants to find out what led her father, legendary Swedish writer Stig Dagerman, who died when she was just 3, to pen a searing, brutal play about toxic masculinity. Wow. So a very personal documentary there.
So as we move from Paris into Amsterdam, I think it's important to just recap what our prizes are.
Absolutely.
Seeing as we'll be announcing the winners of the Amsterdam Festival next week, and Paris will be moving into the network round. So let's just be clear about what the prizes are and what you can expect from the network round. So each festival will have a handful of winners that will screen in that city next year. So, for instance, for Paris, there'll be 3 or 4 filmmakers that will be invited to screen with us in Paris at the 2022 edition. The same for Amsterdam. We also have the Audience Roundtable, which is where up to 4 filmmakers will be invited to join us on our YouTube channel, where we get to have that director's commentary style roundtable where we talk about their films whilst they play muted in the background. I'm not sure if anyone saw, but we had the Hollywood First Time Filmmakers Roundtable this week, and it was great. Lots of people watching and lots of questions for our filmmakers. And then finally, we have season award nominations, where you could be potentially picking up one of these trophies if you are the overall winner. There are 14 categories, and we nominate a handful of films after each festivals, but we also go back closer to the season awards event and have a look at the other films, which can also pick up a nomination at any time. You just need to screen with us. Yeah, so they are the prizes. Do you want to recap what the network round is as we lead into Amsterdam?
Yeah, so the films that we're about to announce will be live, like I said, for filmmakers on our network hub and jury, who will be rating the films in a slightly more in-depth process to what you've been doing during the Vimeo on-demand crowd round, which looks more like what we do in our live festivals when we hand everybody an audience voting review card, and those we always used to compile and send back to the filmmakers. And it was a really nice opportunity for people to sort of get live feedback from people who were engaging with their work. And this is very similar, isn't it, Nat? You sort of look at it on different categories like production value, performances, writing, creativity, all those important things that make up a really great film. And yeah, if you're interested in seeing the feedback from that, you just have to email us and we will be sure to send that on to you as well. So I think that being said, it is time to announce our 5 feature films and our 11 short film finalists.
Yes.
For the Amsterdam Film Festival.
So we're going to start with features.
So starting with features then.
Go on then.
It is Between Us. So this is a Belgian feature directed by Vincent Everard, Sam Gaiskens and Landa Haverels. This is about a mother who is heavily addicted to medication. And yeah, fantastic film here, all about relationships and family drama. So yeah, Between Us is our first finalist.
Then we have It's Going to Be Fine, directed by Christian Warner, and this is a feature film from Germany. And it follows the story of Carsten as he is at a Christmas dinner and is confronted with his parents and their plan to commit suicide. It's quite a deep film.
We were sort of talking about that still there, weren't we? Saying how cool it looks, what great production design.
The tones as well.
Our third film then is the documentary from Sweden, Dirty Banking. This is a fantastic film about one of the largest money laundering scandals that Sweden has ever seen. Amazing production value, very cool. Go and check it out this week. Number 4 then, Nat.
Yes.
Take it away.
There Are No Slums for Women. I'm sorry, I'm not going to pronounce the Spanish name. Do you want to give it a go?
We'll let the audience say it.
Oh, yeah, I would absolutely murder that. So I'll butcher that, I should say. So the English title is There Are No Slums for Women, and this is directed by Donald Whittier from Mexico. And this follows a life that is difficult for Anna. But when she finds a bag of money, Anna believes her dreams have been answered. So it can be quite an uplifting film as well.
Here we go. And then last but not least then, we have If I Didn't Care, a Danish film this time directed by Peter Borkland Andersen, about Titus, whose dad was never present, not even when they were together. Father and son have not seen each other in ages when Titus is called and asked to take his terminally ill father to the hospital.
So there we have
There
it.
we
They
go.
are the 5 features that will be joining us on the network round. And as you can see, all of this information is available on the Liftoff website. You just need to head to Liftoff Global Network and then head to film festivals where you can find all of this information and you can watch trailers ahead of watching the films if that interests you.
Fantastic. So huge congratulations to those feature filmmakers. On to then the shorts. Here we go.
All right, so we're starting with Balance, directed by Hanna Kasta from Hungary. And Kalola wants to be an acclaimed and successful electronic musician. So this follows her journey.
We then have Room 217, directed by Swish Abarash from Iraq, about a young man checking into an old hotel on a rainy night. Number 3.
The Man Who Wouldn't Cry, and this is directed by Emil T. Jonsson from Sweden. And the logline is, a man tarnishes the company's reputation when he refuses to mourn the death of a beloved actress, and his now professional and social life is in jeopardy.
There we go. Number 4 is When the Birds Are Gone, directed by Jana Stolpe from Germany. This is about Doro, who's suffering from depressions and Parkinson's disease, all about empty nest syndrome, illness and motherhood.
And then the 5th film going through is Sofa, directed by Donald Whittier, who we've also just mentioned. His feature has also been migrated into the network round.
This is a good day for Donald.
It's a good day for Donald. This is a Mexican film, and it follows a struggling production company, and they have a sofa in their office, which is a portal through which the dead can speak to them. Or speak to the living, I should say.
The 6th film through is Reality Does Not Need Me, a very experimental short here from the Netherlands, directed by Abu Badola, all about mortality.
The 7th film going through is Gates, and this is a short version. Gates also has a longer version, but it's a short that's made it through, and this is directed by Josh Pickup from the UK, and it follows the story of after disappearing from their broken home 3 years ago, Grace appears in her sister's life in an attempt to protect and make amends with a less than a cooperative Ella.
Capsized then is the 8th short through. 2 directors here, Lisa Hucker and Chanu van Cleven from the Netherlands again, about a homeless couple, Bjorn and Ing, who are doing everything they can to stay united.
Okay, and then we have Apartment Story, directed by Salvatore Del Chirico from Italy. And this is a guy and a girl meet on a dating app. The rest is up to you. No, a guy and a girl meet on a dating app. The tones in this is very dark, and as you can see from the image as well, it continues with the black and white theme throughout.
4x4 is the next short, directed by Isla Romano from Ireland. The logline is, in rural Ireland, a simple decision pushes teenage sisters to grapple with their ties to the family farm.
And then finally we have Chess Game, directed by Bruno Beresic from Croatia. And during a chess game, 2 friends lead a discourse and the story begins to unfold.
Woo, there we go.
There we go. So these are the films that are migrating into the network round. And as Claire mentioned, it will go live 2:30 our time, so GMT this afternoon. And will be available to watch up until Sunday, the 14th of November, midnight GMT as well. So it gives you plenty of time to watch these films. Leave your comments. And don't forget, if you are a filmmaker who has made it through to Network Round, email us to receive your feedback.
Absolutely. enjoy the next busy week of filmmaking ahead, and we'll be back next week to find out exactly like this which films from the Paris Festival are through to the network round.
Amazing.
Very
Enjoy. Happy film watching and happy weekend.
Bye.
Bye.